see the relationship between the ratios of their sides. In the 45, 45, 90 triangle, you should have seen that the two legs have a ratio of 1 to 1. And that shouldn't have been too surprising when you think about it because these two angles are the same. So by ITT, we would have known these two are the same. And then after some work, initially you probably found the ratio of the longest side to the shortest side to be, I think it's about 1.73 here. No, 1.41, I think it is. And then I had you do some work to figure out that that was the square root of 2. So we know that the hypotenuse is always the leg times the square root of 2. In the 30, 60, 90 triangle, we found that, remember, the shortest side is across from the smallest angle. So the side across from the 30 is always half as large as the hypotenuse. And we found that the other leg is the short leg times the square root of 3. And again, just in case you missed it, I'll see if I can explain it quickly here. So you knew a squared plus a squared equals, because they're the same in this 45, 45, 90 triangle, equals c squared, I think is what we did. I'm going to just X that out. We're going to forget about that. Your sub should have the answer key to that, and hopefully we'll go over that with you. You can ask her if you need to. So using these ratios, we can find missing sides. So what I did here is I labeled the sides kind of with those ratios to help you out. So in the first one, it says if r equals 6. Okay, so I'm just going to change the color here. So I know this side is 6. Okay, well, if that side's 6, then I know this side also has to be 6 because they're equal. And this side over here is always one of the legs times the square root of 2. So it is going to be 6 root 2. And t is the side they asked for here, so you're going to write that as 6 root 2. Oops. Okay. So what I'd like you to do is try to go through some of these on your own, even if you only get through 1 or maybe 2 and you can figure them out or work together in your group, and then come back and we'll check the answers together. So push pause now. All right, over here, S, so that's this side over here, is 2 root 5, and they wanted me to find t. Well, I know t is always the small side times the square root of 2, so I kind of showed that work here. So that means t equals 2 root 10. In number 3, they said t equals the square root of 2. Well, t is the same as the a root 2 side. So if the a root 2 side is equal to root 2, if you divide both sides by the square root of 2, you get a equals 1. So that means any side that has a length of a is 1. And so r is 1, and s would be 1 also. Number 4 is probably the trickiest one. If t equals root 10, t equals 10. So in this one, the a root 2 side over here is equal to 10. Okay, well that's nice, but I need to figure out what these are. So I said, okay, if a root 2 equals 10, what will a be? I divided both sides by the square root of 2. That's this step right here. Okay. And then the next thing was you can't leave square root in the denominator. So I multiplied top and bottom by the square root of 2. That got me 10 root 2 over 2, and that simplifies to be 5 root 2. All right, in the 30, 60, 90 triangle, the side across from the 30 is the smallest side. That's our A side. The hypotenuse is our biggest side, so that's 2 times the smallest one. And the side across from the 60-degree angle, which would be over here, is a root 3. So again, I'll go through the first one with you, and then I would like to see you try the other ones and see how that goes. So they told us Q is 8. Okay, so this is 8. All right, well, if this side's 8, then this side must be 2 times 8, or 16. And this side must be 8, the a number, times the square root of 3. Okay, so that means P is 8 root 3, and N is 16, and that's here. Okay, so again, I'd like you in your groups to push pause. I'd like you to try some of these on your own. Even if you, Mrs. Renfrey, I could get one part, but I couldn't get the other. That's okay. You can try and get a couple on your own, get your brains working, and then I'll come back and talk you through the rest. All right, so push pause now. All right, so the first one we did here. In the second one, if n equals 20, so I said, okay, well, n is at the 2a side. Okay, well, once I know a, I can figure everything out. So I said if the 2a side equals 20, if I divide both sides by 2, I get a equals 10. Okay, well, q is near that side, so q is 10, and p is the a number, which we said was 10, times the square root of 3. In number 3, it says p equals 4 root 3. Okay, well, p is over here with the a root 3 side. So I said if the a root 3 side equals 4 root 3, then when you divide both sides by the square root of 3, you'll get a equals 4. So that means q, it would be 4, and n would be double 4, so it would be 8. And then in number 4, p equals 9. Okay, well, p is the a root 3 side. If a root 3 equals 9, because once that doesn't help me get a is my key. So I divided both sides by the square root of 3. So I get 9 over the square root of 3, but I can't leave square root of 3 in the denominator. So I multiplied top and bottom by the square root of 3, and I simplified to get 3 root 3. So that means q is 3 root 3, and n is double that, which is 6 root 3. Not 6 root 6, it's 6 root 3. Okay, as we get into these, I'm just going to, again, I'm going to encourage you to push pause, try them with your group, and then come back and I'll talk you through them again. So push pause now. Okay, so this is my A side. Move this over. And I know that because I found it was 30, 60, 90. I went to the 30, and across from that is the A side. This is my A root 3 side, and this is my 2A side. Okay, well, I can see that my A is 6, so that must mean this is 6 root 3, because it's whatever the A number is times the square root of 3. And x is going to be 2 times 6, which equals 12. All right, so over here, I'm going to kind of put my little reminders again. This is A root 3, this is, 2A. Okay. So this one can look a little crazy because you're like, wait a second. It says here a root 3 equals 8. So we're just going to set that equal. A root 3 equal to 8. I'm going to divide both sides by the square root of 3. And I'm going to get 8, root 3 over 3 quantity. Okay, so now I know what x is. I know x is and that means y is going to be double that. Now remember, the biggest mistake I usually see people make on this is they double the numerator and the denominator. 2 is the same as 2 over 1. You're only doubling the numerator. Okay, so there's my a. All right, over here I have, this is a 45, 45, 90 now. So I know that the sides are a root 2. Okay. Okay, it says here that the a root 2 side is equal to 6. So a equals 6 divided by the square root of 2. And when you simplify that, you'll get 3 square root of 2. You have to multiply top and bottom by the square root of 2. That means, and since your x's are both the a side, your x's are 3 root 2. All right, and as we jump over to here, again, I find my 30 side. I call that A root 3 over here, and this is 2A. So this is 5. The 2A side is 5, so that means that this side over here has to be half of that, which is 5 over 2. And this is the A side times the square root of 3. Right. I'm going to skip these for now. I think you could work off of these a little bit, give them a try, and you can now go to the homework and give those homework problems a try. I'll do these with you when I get back.